So apparently, I'm the most hated person on Fortnite Reddit. So to my remembering, I was scrolling through Reddit and I saw two modders showcasing off a modded Skull Trooper. Now this was no ordinary Skull Trooper, this was a Rainbow Skull Trooper, and at the time, that was absolutely nuts. This was 7 years ago. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I have this YouTube channel that's kind of doing well. Can I showcase this on my YouTube channel? And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? And they showed me how to do it, which ended up just being a simple pack file download. So I was like, oh, that's even better because it's just a client-side mod and no one can get banned if I share this on my YouTube channel, so why not? Let's make a tutorial on this. So lo and behold, the video did extremely well. It got like 150,000 views, which at the time, 7 years ago, was just mind-blowing to me. Not a single person was hating the comments. If anything, they were super psyched. So I truly thought that I was completely in the clear, but little did I know, a huge storm was brewing over on Reddit. So before I knew it, I became public enemy #1 over on Reddit. A ton of people are sending me notifications like, hey, dude, you need to check Reddit. Like, you're all over Reddit. So I really had no idea these posts even existed until they went viral. So when I finally did see these, I posted this tweet over on Reddit saying to essentially verify your game files, which in case you guys don't know, would just put your game back to the original download. And again, I really thought nothing of this. This was simply a client-side mod. I was not selling anything. And what people didn't understand is you already had to own the Skull Trooper to even use the mod. So it was a free download, you already had to own the skin, and only you could see it as it was a client-side mod. Meaning that even if you guys used it with your friends, they would see a normal Skull Trooper where you would see, well, the rainbow modded Skull Trooper.
100% chance you guys will not get banned as long as you guys keep it to yourself because no one can see it but you guys.
So lo and behold, once again, I got more notifications saying that, well, you're on Reddit once again. And right on the front page was my viral tweet talking about, hey, just a heads up, verify your game files. Which, as per usual, in the comments below was completely blown out of proportion. People generally thought that I was selling mods, getting people banned, and all sorts of stuff, which again, was not the case. So I'm not gonna lie, at the time I was kind of immature and I made another tweet talking about the person that posted over on Reddit calling them like a little rat or something like that. And then once again, even more notifications saying, well, you're back on the front page with yet again another tweet talking about the person that posted you over on Reddit. Not gonna lie, I was completely shocked. I mean, 3 Reddit posts going viral in a very short time span, that is just absolutely unheard of. And then the email hit. So essentially, I got an email from Epic Games saying, you are now removed from supporter creator. And lo and behold, it was because of Reddit. From this point forward, I was like, man, I really have to get rid of the modding stuff and just, clean the slate. No more modding for happy power. Until the same 2 guys reached out to me and said, we've got even better mods to showcase for you, and don't worry, these are not bannable. Which even before I was like, well, that one wasn't bannable, but look what happened. I mean, 3 Reddit posts going viral was just insane, especially for someone's YouTube career who was just starting. Like, that really stained me. So I gave it a shot and I made some small content with these guys. Well, then a guy named Landon reached out to me, a huge YouTuber at the time, getting like millions of views per video. He was like, hey, I love what you're doing, and I want to make a new series about you being a supposed hacker and showing me some cool stuff. Now again, at the time, I had no access to any sort of mods. I mean, I was just getting mods from these 2 guys as pack files, and that's pretty much it. I had no idea how to mod. But I was like, well, I can network all of us together to make some crazy viral content. I mean, my name is just absolutely everywhere now. Let's do something about that. So I just started to network myself. I was like, hey, Landon, I got these 2 guys who can make these crazy videos. I personally don't do anything, but they can for us, and I can bring us all together for a viral video. So I presented the idea of essentially just joining a lobby with Landon, showcasing some crazy stuff, and those 2 guys really surprised me. They were showing like save the world stuff and all sorts of wild things. Stuff that I didn't even think was possible until then. So after that, we recorded an entire video of like him just reacting to these guys' mods and just me kind of being in the lobby with them. It was kind of the same situation with the Rainbow Skull Trooper where it was just simply a download. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So that video went up and it went absolutely viral to the point where Ali A, who had at the time like 6 million subscribers, reached out and was like, hey, I also want to do this. And the same 2 guys were like, hey, we now have the ability to get skins early inside the game. Here's how to do it. And at the time, it was like mind-blowing. Like getting skins of the game, that's such a normal thing today. Like Hypeback, Sheena, all these major leaguers doing this every single day. But back then, 7 years ago, that was very rare.
A few of you guys replied with a person called Happy Power.
So again, I was given another pack file showing how to mod the skins early inside the game, and that was a very bad mistake. So fast forward talking to LEA saying, hey, here's a video idea. Again, networking myself, getting the guys together, and all that crazy stuff. Well, we made the video, okay? And that video went mega viral. Way bigger than Landon's by ×2 probably. We're talking 10 million views plus. So in LEA's video, all we did was showcase off early skins inside the lobby. Once again, nothing malicious, we weren't selling anything, And again, I was just given these mods to make some entertaining content with, well, these modders. So around the exact same time period, something really weird happened. Landon, the YouTuber I just made a video with, ended up getting banned. And well, I became the scapegoat for that. Everyone's like, this is Happy Power's fault. He's the modern hacker.
So yeah, as you guys can see by the title of this vid, I was just banned on Fortnite.
When in reality, I had no access to mods, no ability to even mod, or really how it even worked. Whenever I made a video with somebody like Landon or LEA, these guys would just tutorial me like, hey, this is what to do, this is how to use them, and so on and so forth. So it turns out that Landon actually got banned for making a private video with these two guys where they showcased off a bunch of Save the World stuff and honestly just filling chests with like Save the World items. And that kind of led to him getting banned for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure if that was severely against terms of service. I'm sure what we were doing was, again, probably against terms of services. But at the very least, I wasn't selling anything and I wasn't doing anything that was super malicious, just kind of stuff into the lobby. So whatever happened with them, that was not my fault. So after their private video went live, it did seem like Landon got banned from that, which was super unfortunate. I'm pretty sure he lost like 100,000 V-Bucks, which at the time was just astronomical numbers. And while all this stuff was happening, I also gained 150,000 subscribers in one single week from these two collaborations going absolutely viral. And then everyone was just calling me a hacker. Like I wasn't Happy Power anymore, I was just the hacker guy. Which again, in reality, I had no access to any sort of hacks. It was just me downloading pack files from two buddies. And here's where the dumpster fire really happened. More Reddit posts, more comments, and all sorts of stuff just started happening. People saying that I was scamming, selling accounts, selling Save the World stuff, scamming Save the World creators, and all sorts of wild stuff, which obviously just never happened. So this huge snowball of misinformation really stayed me for a while. I completely backed off from doing any sort of modding and glitching and just went back to my normal news and leaks videos. So the lesson I learned from all this stuff was simply to just make my own content sometimes. I really don't want to be known as a guy who just makes content based on other people's leaks or news or mods, stuff like that. I really just want to make something that's truly my own. I really just want the Fortnite community to be entertaining again and completely original. So I'm going to be posting experimental videos at least once a week, and don't worry guys, I'll still be covering news, but just in a more unique way. I think it's definitely time for me to start incorporating some original content here on the channel, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the ride with me. If you're a person who hated on me back then without knowing the full story, I think you guys owe me a simple like on this video and a subscribe. And for those who've been with me since the start, thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Alright, some final thoughts I forgot to mention in the video. So the main reason I want to tell this story is simply because recently I've been trying to get back into the skin program where content creators would receive in real life teasers, cool accessories to show in content, and also just skins early into the game to show for, well, videos. But even still to this day, 6-7 years later, Epic Games still considers me a Fortnite leaker, which was never something I've ever really actually been. The only thing I've ever done was just show leaked content on my videos, which honestly every single major creator does, and every single Fortnite streamer shows it on stream on update nights and whatever else. So at the end of the day, it never really seemed fair. Like, I'm not considered a leaker. I try to explain that to Epic Games numerous times, but it's not something they kind of want to hear me out on. So hopefully by telling this story, they finally see I'm not necessarily a leaker. I have the ability to show leaked content as much as anybody else, but everybody in that program does the exact same thing. So hopefully one day we can get back in that program, make some original content, and truly just have fun with Fortnite once again. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys again in the next video.